The most successful people in the world are not the ones who feel no fear. They are the ones who became intimately familiar with the taste of it. It is their constant, bitter companion. And they learned a secret about it that changes everything. What if the very thing you are running from is not a threat, but a map? What if that sick, hollow feeling in your gut isn't a warning to stop, but a quiet, desperate signal to begin? I used to believe that courage was the absence of fear. I built my life around avoiding that feeling. I chose the safe job, the comfortable silence, the acceptable path. And in the middle of that perfect, quiet life, I began to feel myself disappearing. It was a slow death, so subtle I almost missed it. The friction was gone, and so was I. The soul doesn't scream when it's dying. It whispers, and the whisper sounds a lot like dread. I remember lying awake, night after night, with a cold, hard stone of anxiety sitting in my chest. I told myself it was protection. My fear was keeping me safe, prudent, sensible. But safe from what? From humiliation? From failure? From looking foolish? That's not protection. That's a prison sentence you deliver to yourself every morning. The fear I felt about the life I wasn't living was 1,000 times louder than the fear of the life I was. I was not afraid of catastrophe. I was afraid of insignificance. That is the true, slow-burning fire. One day, I finally understood. The fear wasn't a wall. It was a door, and my hand was already on the knob. Think about it. You only fear the things that have the power to transform you. You don't fear a path that leads nowhere. You fear the path that leads to a different version of yourself. That tightness in your throat before you speak your truth, that's not a leash. It's a tether, connecting the person you are to the person you must become. That voice that whispers, "You're not ready," isn't your enemy. It is the most honest part of you, acknowledging the magnitude of what you are about to do. It is the sound of your old identity straining under the weight of a new one. This is the silent endurance. This is the long, cold wait in the dark before you understand that the dark itself is the teacher. My one change was not a grand gesture. It was not quitting everything in a blaze of glory. It was a quiet, irrevocable decision in the dead of night. It was the moment I stopped asking, "How do I get rid of this fear?" and started asking, "What is this fear trying to show me?" The answer was always the same. It was pointing directly at the thing I cared about most. The business idea I'd scribbled in a notebook. Conversation I was avoiding. The art I was hiding. The leap that felt like madness. The fear was a spotlight, shining on the exact location of my destiny. And I realized I had a choice. I could spend the rest of my life sitting in the dark, staring at that lit-up stage, or I could walk into the light, trembling, and begin. That walk is everything. It is suffering without drama. It is showing up day after day with that knot in your stomach. Not as a flaw, but as proof. Proof that you are in the arena. Proof that it matters. It is patience without weakness, the kind of patience that understands an oak tree does not rage against the years it takes to grow. It simply grows. And one day, you look up, and the landscape of your life is different. You are different. The fear hasn't left. You have simply outgrown its authority. This is rebirth without fantasy. It is not a fiery explosion. It is the slow, sure greening of a field after a long winter. You wake up and realize the ice in your veins has melted, and what is left is a river, flowing in a direction you finally recognize as your own. So if you are lying awake with that familiar ache, do not curse it. Listen to it. It is not the sound of your breaking. It is the sound of your making. That fear is the compass needle, spinning wildly because it has finally found true north. Your north, the path to everything you have ever wanted, is paved with the stones of everything you have ever feared. Every single time. This is your invitation. Not to be fearless, but to be fear-aligned. To let that tightness in your chest be not a cage, but a guide. To take that one change, that single trembling step into the spotlight your fear has so kindly provided, and begin building your life, not in spite of the fear, but because of it. The world is waiting for the version of you that exists on the other side of it. Keep going,